So I hope majority of us have joined us today over here for our today's session. And in our yesterday's session, we had a little talk about what is supply and demand. And since it's such an important concept, we are going to have a look at it again, and we are going to try to use that in today's example of how we predicted today's BTC pump, of it pumping all the way up to 104,993. We're going to have a detailed in dive on how it was actually done because our lessons are not going to be only focused on the indicators or the method. We're going to be doing some live evaluation, a live evaluation that what methods are we discussing? Are they working? What's the percentage that it's working? And how to actually implement all those methods combined in actual trading, real life trading. So let's just dive quickly into it. And for that, I'm going to have a recap of the concept which is called supply and demand. Supply and demand. DEMAND. All right. So supply and demand, as I've already told you guys, is just a fancy word for supply as S for sellers. So supply is where sellers are sitting, where a lot of sellers are active. And demand is basically where a lot of buyers are active. So the question now is, how would you tell whether which place is where the buyers are active and which place is where the sellers are active? Now, if you look at this candle over here, you can see that giant green candles are forming, right? Now, when does giant green candles form? Obviously, there are a lot of buyers in the market, right? And when do a lot of red candles form? When there are a lot of sellers in the market, like right here, a lot of sellers in the market. So this could be our demand zone and this could be our supply zone. Now it's really easy to do that when you're looking at a past graph. When you're looking at a graph where everything is already done, you'll be like, okay, that's no hard. We can do that multiple times. What's the magic about it? So supply and demand doesn't really work like that, right? It doesn't really work that you just wait for green candles to form and then you call it demand. You wait for green candles to form and then you call it demand, and then you are like, okay, buyers are here. Obviously, a fool would detect that buyers are here if green candles are forming. What magic would you do? So that's not how supply and demand work. That's not how you actually identify where the buyers are sitting. You have to use the power of past. Supply and demand works on past levels. So let me just explain it to you guys what I mean by that. So currently this is the graph of BTC, right? This is what we can see on BTC. This is what we can see on BTC, right? This is what we can see. Now, to look at this, right, we cannot really say if this is supply and demand. Price is going up. Can any one of you say that this is supply or demand? Can any one of you say that this is supply or demand just because price is going up? And obviously, the concept which I just explained to you, it states that wherever a lot of green candles are present, a lot of buyers are present. It should be demand. It should be demand zone. It does not really work like that. So let's just understand how it works. So to mark supply and demand zones, what you have to do, you have to go into the past. You have to scroll back. You have to scroll it down, and you have to look for zones where price has rejected in the past very harshly. Now, as you can see over here, in the past, price really sharply rejected from here, made huge red candles, more red candles, more red candles. So that means there was a huge selling pressure lying at this point. Now, and as I've told you, whenever there are giant red candles, selling pressure. Whenever there's giant green candles, buying pressure. That means buyers are sitting at that specific point. Now, this point could be our point which sellers have marked, and now sellers are sitting here. So what I want to do, I want to just mark this point from here. Let me just mark it.
Sam, close the microphone. Close the microphone, Sam, because we don't hear the master.
All right, I'm the master. Wow. Perfect. All right. Okay, so as you can see over here, there's a lot of selling pressure, lot of red candles. You might want to mark it. Mark it right here. Mark it with a giant ray. Now this ray would somewhere meet at your current level. And as you can see, it's meeting at our current price, and price is also respecting this area. The price increased all the way up till here, and now it's respecting it. We're not going into detail. I'm just telling you how to mark the demand zone. This is not the demand zone, this is the supply zone where the sellers are sitting. As for supply, as for sellers, here sellers are sitting because in the past sellers have sold here. And how do we say that sellers are sitting here? Well, sellers have sold here once, sellers will sell here again. This is an important level, right? So we mark this level. And the reason we mark this level is because price was first consolidating for a while and then it showed huge selling pressure. So this level is important. Okay, then after that, what happens is the price is falling, and over here, the price starts to increase. Shows us some giant green candles, right? Shows us some pure green candles, and then price increased really abruptly. So this level is important now. So this is the level where buyers are active. So you might want to mark this level too. That means this is buyers level. And how would we confirm it? Because look at it. Buyers are active over here and buyers were active over here again. That means this level is actually a level where buyers are selling, buyers are buying. And this is the level where sellers are selling. Look at this, sellers sold here again. So that's why this is the selling zone and this is the buying zone, right? So what we're going to do here, we're going to quickly mark the demand zone or the buying zone. For now, we're just going to call it the buying zone. The buying zone, the selling zone. Supply and demand, we're going to talk about later, right? Buying zone, selling zone. The zone where buyers are sitting, the zones where sellers are sitting. What you have to do, mark the buying zone, mark the seller zone. And the perfect thing, and the thing which is tricky is to actually mark the buying zone correctly, right? You can misjudge the buying zone. You can misjudge the selling zone. There is going to be multiple things. So to mark it accurately is going to be what's going to acquire your experience. What's going to acquire more practice. That's why I tell you guys, practice more. All right, we're going to quickly go over here and mark our selling zone. Buying zone, I mean. So over here, I saw some buying pressure, and then we had buying pressure over here, two green candles. So I'm gonna mark this zone with a ray. You can also use a square, but I just like these rays because they're less messy. So yeah, so I'm gonna mark it and extend it all the way up to our current.
Sam, close the microphone because we don't hear so good.
All right, we're good now.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So now I have marked the buying zone, right? And as you can see, it's getting extended all the way up to our current price, right? So this is what I've done is I've successfully marked the buying and selling zone. And now the formula is really simple. You wait for the price to enter the selling zone, chances are sellers will sell there. Because really, what people are doing in the market is just buying low, selling high. This is how you make profit. Big industries and big companies are sitting over here. They're buying low, selling high, buying low, selling high. This is what they're doing. So what we have managed to successfully do is that we have managed to mark the points where they are doing this. And by doing so, we can take advantage of it. we can be along with those buyers and big sellers, and we can buy where they're buying, we can sell where they're selling. So this is a very clever strategy to basically make use of big big traders. Big traders. So that's your choice. You want to be among the big traders or you want to be among the small traders, the idiot traders, the ones who do not know anything, the ones which do not know these basics. Because in a while, I'm going to tell you what an unexperienced trader is going to do when he sees candles like this, right? So, an experienced trader like us, what he would do, he would mark this buying and selling zones, right? And he would know that every time there's a buying zone, people will buy and price will increase. And every time there's a selling zone, paper price will decrease. And as you can see over here, this was our zone which we marked. Price increased. It did went a little above our selling zone because you have to understand it that it's just not a line, it's a zone. So this whole area is like the selling zone. So a little above, a little below is acceptable. This whole area is the buying zone. So again, a little above, a little below, acceptable. So as you can see, price successfully came back from the selling zone, respected the buying zone, went back up again. Came back down, buying zone, went back up, came back down, buying zone, went back up to the selling zone. And what it did when it went back up to the selling zone, came down back all the way very nicely, very beautifully, all the way up to the selling zone. And I've told you it's a selling zone here, right? Not just a line, not just a line. And then as you can see, that's today when I gave you the trade of BTC long, or you want to buy BTC target of 10449, basically 105, because 105 was the buying zone, 105 was the selling zone. So basically, I gave you the trade from the buying zone, and BTC very beautifully respected the selling zone, came up to the selling zone, and now it's getting rejected from the selling zone again. So it's really, really that simple. So when will things change? Things will change when BTC will give us a breakout. That means that BTC is no longer respecting the selling zone. And how to avoid that breakout? We have a stop loss a little above our selling zone, right? And that is very crucial because BTC can give us a breakout. There could be a really massive player in the market which would be like, okay, I'm going to disrupt all the market. I'm going to buy it with multi-billion shares and increase the price all the way beyond our this resistance. And what's going to happen when this resistance is going to be broken? Price is going to increase drastically. And I've told you multiple times why price increase drastically after resistance is broken. So let me go through it again. Millions of people in the world know that whenever resistance is broken, price increases. Whenever support is broken, price decreases. So if I am a common man, what I would do is I know that if resistance is, for now, price is going like this. It's consolidating between support and resistance, a little up, a little down. It's consolidating between the support and resistance. So a wise man, what he would do is he would set his limit entry to buy BTC a little above the resistance. So if there's like a joint candle which breaks this resistance and comes at this zone, his entry would automatically be triggered and he would own BTC. And what will happen after the price breaks resistance? The price skyrockets. So he will gain all the profit, right? So that's why whenever the price crosses the resistance, millions of people have the entry points set up here, and millions of people simultaneously buy BTC and it skyrockets. So basically, that's why breakouts are important, and that's why you have to be careful. If you are marking a selling zone over here, you have to be very careful of the breakout, and breakout is actually dangerous for us. So you have to mark the breakout as your stop loss a little above so that you don't have as 1:70 risk to reward ratio. Like today, when I gave you BTC long over here, I marked the stop loss a little below the support. So if the breakout happens below the support, I know that if the support is broken, that BTC is going to continue downward for days. Because same thing with support, that once support is broken, now a lot of people, they have marked this support in the world, right? And they know that if support is broken, price will decrease. So what they would do is they would put their stop losses a little below their support level, just like we are doing. And as soon as the price gives us a joint candle, a red joint candle, it hits all the stop losses, and multi-million people sell their BTC. And what happens when multi-million people sell their BTC? Price decreases. So it's all psychology, no rocket science, no one is scamming here. So people really think that crypto and all these stocks are scam. It's basically pure logic. How people, everything is working on logic. It's really that simple. Buy and sell. That's it. Nobody can, yes, people can manipulate it. Exchanges can manipulate.
It became logic with amazing teacher like you and mentor. Now I understand everything. Trust me, I never understand like this. Never.
All right, amazing. Because feedback is like obviously it's like super motivating. It motivates me, and thank you so much.
Same here. Same here. So today morning,
Feedback, my brother. I need to make you birthday every day.
Perfect. That's wow. That's wonderful. So thank you so much, guys. That really boosts my confidence, and I really enjoy when you guys are actually getting the most out of it. That's my really biggest achievement. My biggest achievement won't be my biggest prediction. My biggest achievement would be that my students go out in the world and make some real good progress and become the best traders out in the world. That will be my biggest achievement, and that would be something that I could be proud of in the longer run. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. So over here, we were discussing how our today's prediction was made. Basically, we just buy at the buying zone, sell at the selling zone around 150. And obviously, it could be plus minus a little bit. And BTC went up to 106 instead of 105. And I absolutely it can go over there because it's a zone. It's not a single line, it's a zone, and it is completely, as you can see, it's clearly respecting the zone, a little above the zone. It's completely respected the zone. And if there's no breakout, chances are that BTC will consolidate here and start to decrease back down, right? BTC can give us a breakout over here, and if it does, then it's going to show this pattern, which we will be aware. But when we will see that price is consolidating here and it's getting rejected, then we can easily open a short trade from over here. If we have bought BTC, we can sell it because BTC, I think BTC is really important because majority of the coins are following BTC. So if you're actually very accurately predicting BTC, and if you are a future trader, then you can, or if you're a day trader in spot trading, you can very easily make small amounts of profits every single day. If you have big capital, just like quickly went in, if you're at the buying zone of BTC and you buy BTC with like, let's say 100K, right? You buy one BTC and it quickly goes up to 106 within 10-15 minutes, 6K profit, exit the market. Small one-day traders, people do that, right? So day traders do that. Now, for long-term traders who actually focus on big breakouts, that's something that I've taught you in the patterns more, right? Falling wedge patterns and all those things, breakouts and the patterns are really important because every time a pattern is forming, that's for the bigger moves. That's how we predicted the PYR breakout. That's how we predicted the bond breakout. And that's how we predicted the VTO breakout. Now, all these coins, they were forming these patterns and they were giving us huge breakouts. And every time that happens, we know price is going to skyrocket. That's a pattern formation. And every time pattern formation, there's like big moves, giant moves. These things are for small everyday moves, like everyday BTC target. What's going to be the target today? What's short-term targets? That's for people who want to enter the market today, exit the market today, make some small profit, bread money, and have some food, enjoy life, right? So, but that is important too. And these things are actually going to work as supply and demand zone, not just in the 15 minutes time zone as a very small thing. It will always work in the longer time frames too, and you be able to predict longer, like big moves of BTC too with it, right? Let's just take a look at it. If we can find something on our graph right here. Now, okay. So if now I'm at a 1 day time graph, right? 1 day chart. Now, if I were to, like I've told you, this is our current scenario. We are right now here, right? And looking at the candle, which is current, looking at the current candle is totally foolish. You cannot just look at a candle, say that, okay, green candles are forming. Its buyers are important here. So that's like a child or a toddler would tell you that. Because when green candles have already formed, there's nothing really you can do, right? You want to enter when green candles haven't formed. That's expertise. When green candles have formed and you are like, you come up to the market and be like, okay, green candles are formed, buyers are there. Clapping for you. You did absolutely wonderful. You entered when candles have already formed. That was an absolute astonishing discovery. So you want to enter when green candles have not formed. You want to anticipate those green candles. So the current market is not significant while marking the buyers and seller zone, the supply and demand zone. So what we want to do is we want to scroll back. We want to scroll back. What we want to do is we want to scroll back. All right. And over here, we want to check out the past and let's see what's happening. So over here, I can see that two really giant candles have formed. That means a huge selling pressure over there. So I have to mark it no matter what, right? I have to mark it no matter what. There's a huge selling pressure over there. That means it's a seller zone. And every time I see a seller zone, I have to mark it. So I just mark the seller zone, right? And as you can see, the price in the future has clearly respected the seller zone very beautifully. It's still respecting the seller zone. And chances are they will just retrace back from the seller zone. All right. Okay. Now, to spot the buyer zone, all right, to spot the buyer zone, we have to watch for good giant green candles. Now, this in the past gave us a nice green candles and buyers were really important here. And over here at around the same level, buyers are again important. And over here too, green candle, giant green candle, considerably bigger than what are adjacent to it. So I'm gonna mark this a as a buying zone. See, again, another green candle is present over here. Another green candle is present over here. One is present over here too. One is present over here too. We're going to skip that for a while because we are here for bigger predictions now. And now here, there's the buying zone. Now, with that marked, I'm going to remove it, mark it with an actual ray. All right, somewhere around here. Yep, somewhere around here. All right. All right, we got our markings done. Now this is our supply zone. This is our buying zone. Keep it simple. Supply, demand, forget it. These are just fancy words. Forget it. Buying zone. Buyers are active here. Buyers bought it once, bought it twice, thrice, again and again doing it. They would do it again over here too. That means chances are that if breakout does not happen from this resistance level, from this selling zone, chances are BTC could have a sharp fall over here all the way up to $94,000. And people would be like, oh my God, market crashed. Where technical people like you would know that it's just selling zone activation. That's it. Sellers got activated, BTC dropped. That's it. No rocket science, no manipulation here, no crypto scam. Really logic, right? Because in every time frame, different types of sellers are setting, right? Daily traders are setting on the 15 minutes time frame, and like 1 day traders and like or long-term traders, like weekly or monthly traders, they're always sitting at bigger time frames. They are watching these bigger time frames. They don't want small profits. They want big profits. They want to buy over here. They want to sell over here. This is a selling zone right now. So if BTC does not breaks out and just like starts to climb up, chances are BTC could really fall and respect this seller zone and then buy back up again, right? Now, let me tell you what majority of people would do while trading Bitcoin or any other coin. What they do, what's their mentality, right? So the mentality is simple. They see green candles, they're like, oh my God, price is increasing, crypto is the future, buy. They say green candles, they buy over here. Not in the selling zone, not in the buying zone, in nowhere, just buy over here, right? And as soon as they buy, they see this red candle. They're like, oh my God. As soon as I buy, I don't know what's with me, but as soon as I buy, I always have loss, man. What's wrong with me? Maybe there's something wrong with me, right? And they would just sell it. And as soon as they sell it, it would like go up again. And they'll be like, oh my God, man. And maybe it was just waiting for me to sell. Let me just buy back up again. Maybe it's the future. And as soon as they buy it, boom, again sell. Because it's the selling zone. Why would you buy something in the selling zone? Because you don't know buying and selling zone. You don't know what's supply and demand, right? And what would he do when he see a lot of red candles? He would short it. He would like, oh my God, red candles. This price is definitely gonna drop. Bitcoin is trash now. Maybe market collapsed or stocks crashed or something like that. They won't look at the news or anything. They would just be like, okay, market crashed or something like that. Open short. Guess what? Same from that level, BTC rise because this was the buying zone. It's really that simple. Can't really see how you cannot get it. Now, I'm not saying that 100% is going to be all the time you're going to be winning, because there's always chance of a breakout. There's always chance of a big player coming into the market, forcing the market to break this zone and then hitting all these entry points. Now, you cannot just blame yourself at that point, be like, oh man, I'm not really good at crypto. No, it's really logical. A big player can enter the market, right? So this is the kind of prediction you can do with the market. You can only predict when big players are not entering the market. When they are entering the market, when they are giving us a breakout, that means big players are entering. Close now, enter long, or buy right now, right? So it's really that dynamic, right? So it's not like you just buy and then you wait for it, like absolutely hit your TP targets. And no, you have to actually monitor it. It's actually a dynamic thing. Buying in spot is always a better option. Buying at the buying zone, selling at the selling zone. And if it does gives us a breakout, who cares? We've already secured the profit. And that's my request from you guys. As soon as, if you're doing future trading, right? Let's say you enter over here. As soon as your trade is in profit, put a stop loss in profit. Put a stop loss right over here, or at least put a stop loss at entry point, right? Because trades can be done every day, but secure trading is the most important thing. What's more important than making huge profits is to not make a loss. Smaller profits are much more important than loss. So as soon as your trade is in profit, make sure you put a stop loss in that entry level. Make sure you put a stop loss in profit. And if your price is increasing, make sure you are increasing your stop loss gradually too. Or if you're like really sure that the market is going to hit our TP that like over here, because it's clearly buying and selling zone, and market is consolidating too, right? Market is consolidating too. So chances are that you could easily hit your TP. Right, guys? Right or wrong?
So right.
Right.
Understood? Now I want you to I want to point another thing. I've told you that simultaneously multiple things are going to be involved, not just one concept. Not just one concept of supply and demand is going to be in the progress. Every other indicator, every other thing that I've taught you is going to be in the progress too. Now, if you can look over here, the price has significantly left a fair value gap over here. And what happens when price leaves a fair value gap? It comes to retrace it back. So not only the price over here was in the seller zone, it has left a fair value gap. That's like huge bearish. BTC is huge bearish over here, right? So it doesn't matter if it crosses the supply zone, it crosses the seller zone, it will definitely come back. And as you can see, it has very beautifully come back all the way up to the buying zone. It's really, really that simple, right? And you can see it in live time that BTC is clearly respecting these levels, clearly respecting fair value gaps, clearly respecting all the parameters that it should, unless there's a breakout. So unless there's a breakout, you guys can easily take benefit of this concept. It's really, really that simple. And it's basically based on no magic. It's really buyers and sellers. What buyers are doing in the market, but sellers are doing in the market. All you did was just understand it. That's it. You did nothing special, right? No magical indicator that would tell you to like buy, and no magical indicator that would tell you to sell. Nothing like that, right? I will tell you indicators. They will help you, but they are indicators, my friend. Indicators. The word indicators coming from the word indication. Indication means a hint. Now, these things can only give you a hint. You cannot just rely on them. They just give you a hint, be like, yo, good trader. You might want to look at the setup and you would like, oh, this is actually an indicator would tell you to sell. And you'd be like, okay, let me just analyze it. And you find out that, okay, it's actually a selling zone. Let me just sell it. So indicator worked. And in another scenario, the indicator told you to sell and you figured out that this is not the selling zone yet. We are in the middle. We are not in the selling zone, buying zone. I'm going to forget this trade, right? So maybe the indicator was right, but it's better to stay safe. It's better to always trade when you are 100% confirmed. So use these past fair value gaps. Use these past buying and selling zones. Figure out where buyers are selling. Figure out buyers are buying. Figure out where sellers are selling, right? And that's going to help you drastically improve your trading skills. And in the upcoming videos, we're going to be discussing now more about the active market condition, what actively market is doing. We're going to be discussing some of our remaining concepts. We're going to be discussing some chart patterns. We're going to be discussing some other miscellaneous topics which are left, liquidity and other things. But for now on, for today, it was a session all about supply and demand zone, because I cannot emphasize this more. This is like the root. This is like the base where all the other things are gonna be framed upon. This is like the base of the entire building that we are building of our crypto journey. So, how was today's session? Did you guys have any learning?
Of course, my brother. Of course, I understand now the big pictures.
Yeah, are you all guys with me?
When all the
Yeah.
people get stressed, the professional know where is the selling and the buying. This is the game.
That's the game,
have-
right? And if
I
you
have
can
a
make use
question.
out of it, you are the winner. And that's basically which is going to help you stand out from a normal trader and stand out among the 1% of the traders, stand out among the big players which actually know what are doing in the what they are doing in the market.
Perfecto.
So you
Perfect.
guys, all of you guys are clear? Are you guys with me?
Yes, my
I have
brother.
a
Yeah.
question, if you don't
Yes,
mind.
yes.
So for like the day trading, you said that we can use the 15 minutes, right? The 15-minute candles. So like how big should the range be? Should it be like 24 hours range that we should take a look at? Or
You have to look at all the time frames. You have to look, you have to mark all the support and resistances. Time is really less. I'm going to conclude it and answer your question in the next session too. You have to mark all the support and resistances in all the time zones, all the buying and selling zones, and then figure out what is actually happening, right?
okay, then we can discuss it maybe further in the next session.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was lovely to have you guys. Thank you so much, everyone.